welcome to Raven's Random Rants. This is your girl, Raven the Serial Poet, coming to bring y'all another rant that is random. I hope everybody has been having a productive week. I know a lot of things have been going on this past month and this past week, and we are here to talk about all of that. So, I just want to start off by saying I appreciate the support and love that y'all have been giving me. I see the emails and I greatly appreciate it. Um, just if y'all want to send me an email, maybe about a topic, or just showing, telling me that y'all appreciate what I do. My email is ravenrandomrant at gmail.com, or you can DM me on Instagram at Raven Random Rants Podcast. So let's start off by saying this. Sometimes when people say things, they are not exactly crazy, delusional, or bitter. Okay? And the reason why I'm going to start things out that way is because for years, people have been saying that Jaguar White, I don't really know her last name, was crazy, bitter, and delusional when she talked about the industry and what went on within it. Now, if y'all are confused about what I'm talking about the fact that Sean Combs, the Diddler, has been arrested this past week. Now, the only people that I have been seeing defending him or trying to justify what he has been doing has been a bunch of men. Men in the entertainment industry and everything. And the bad thing about it is the people that is defending him a long ago, they was caught up in some conspiracy, some situations that was very much shady activity. So yeah, their justifiable claims about, oh yeah, when did being freaky uh, become a crime? It's very clear that they did not listen to the press conference, not the entire thing, and they didn't look up the paperwork of what he's being charged with. Because if they was, they would not be talking. Because 9 times out of 10, they probably on some tapes that the FBI collected as well. And this is another reason why I tell people all the time, I'm like, some things don't need to be documented. I would never justify what he did with, oh yeah, he shouldn't have taken it, whatever. He just shouldn't have did it. He shouldn't have did it. Um, Now people done found different videos and stuff like that with, him with young girls, and they had one video I saw earlier today about him picking up some white girl off the street or something, talking about come play with his kids, and the little girl looked like she could have been too young to be playing with the kids that he had at the time. I just put it like that. So, what kids was he talking about playing with? Was it the kids that's in his nutsack? Like, you want to come play with my kids, aka play with his kids? Like, it's so much that goes into this whole situation. And Jaguar Wright has been saying for years that in due time, all things will be revealed. And everybody's like, oh, she just bitter because her music career didn't take off. Or, people are getting the recognition that she should be getting, or whatever the case may be. When she first came on the scene, the first thing she said was, yeah, I'm not doing this for me. I could care less if people like me. No, I don't want no music career because the music industry is just full of demons, molesters, and SAers. And we gonna just put it like that because you know, people just have a habit of, oh, I can't believe you talking about that, but it needs to be talked about because how many people that came forward since Cassie, and even Cat Williams said on his interview with Shannon Sharp that in due time all things would be revealed. That he used to get invited to parties, the party with Diddy, and you had to tell him no, because if not, he would keep being persistent and ask you, hey, do you want to come party with me? Do you want to come to a party? Whatever the case may be. And what people don't realize is things like, oh well, you ain't hear nothing on the videos about nobody saying no or not want to be participant of what was going on. But my whole main thing with that is if you're being drugged, and everybody know back in that time, at that time and space, roofies was a thing. And if it wasn't roofie, it was other things that kind of incapacitated yourself to where you kind of out of it. So whatever was going on, yeah, you just going with it because you not in control of your body. But people just like, oh well, the women ain't say no, the women ain't say nothing. A bunch of men, of course, the women ain't say nothing. The women, on if they watch the tape, they probably how you know what's on the tape? Did they show you the tape, or are you on the tape? It's just utterly disgusting the way things have been. 2024, I thought 2020 was gonna be one for the books because of coronavirus. A lot of people just get divorces because they was forced to sit and deal with their spouse because it's easy to come and go. You come and go. You go to work. You come home. You eat dinner. You go to sleep. Whatever the case may be. So it was a lot of couples that wasn't really dealing with real issues. They just fly by night. Strangers passing in the night. At the end of everything, once everything opened back up, the divorce rate was so freaking high. Domestic violence was high. It was just people were not used to being in their own mess. They was not used to sitting in their own shit. I put it like that. Now, literally speaking, yeah, nobody should sit in their own shit, but figuratively speaking, they were not used to sitting in their own shit. So they had a lot of things going on. But Miss Jaguar Wright told people, broke everything down about everybody in the industry from Oprah Winfrey all the way down, I guess you could say Jennifer Lopez. Everybody wanted to, it's just a whole lot of, and it's like Jennifer Lopez was named in the paperwork as well, and I find that very ironic because for years Miss Thing would be walking around Hollywood like she was untouchable, like she didn't start out as a fly girl on In Living Color, like she just been Hollywood royalty all her life. Forgetting that the moment that she linked up with the Diddler, anything that he did around her and she witnessed and didn't say nothing, she was an accessory to the facts. So I hope she got her a good lawyer. Same thing for T.D. Jakes. It came out that T.D. Jakes was a power bottom. Now, my whole main thing is this. I don't know how true it is. I don't know anything about that life because I am a low class citizen. But if you expect people to come back to church, come back to Jesus, come back to whatever, and you are friends with the diddler, and then when things was brought to the forefront, you did a whole sermon about have you ever been swallowed up. What what are we talking about here? Now I haven't seen the whole sermon, and it could have been, about something very pure, very innocent. But that little clip, and it was, I think it was longer than that. But he's like, oh, I've been swallowed up. Have you ever been swallowed? Like, it's the way that he says things in his sermons, indirectly directs. Do y'all remember when T.D. Jakes came out with a CD? I want to say it was a CD um, for married couples to make love to. Now, don't get me wrong, I had that CD when I was married, when I was backsliding in Cleveland. But the more I think about it, who wants to be getting you know what I'm saying? You getting into it with your spouse and you hear him in the background singing, his big, deep, Barry White voice. Like, I put on Barry White. Barry White is good enough. But I don't need you ushering the Lord into my marriage bed when he's already here. Like, it was creepy. I understand for a lot of couples, they probably did them some good, whatever the case may be. But for me, personally, some things should just be left untouched by Christians, Baptists, Pentecostals, whoever. We don't need no love song to make love to our spouse with the Lord in it. Because anytime back in the day when we would be doing our thing and the quiet storm turns into church, yeah, I'm telling my age. But I know some of y'all remember them days when y'all will be in the thralls of y'all just getting it in this quiet storm, you know what I'm saying? Tina Marie's playing, Teddy Pendergrass out, the old school crooners of sensuality. I'll put it like that. That's all we needed. We don't need T.D. Jakes. And I think he was the only one that made a CD like that. And it just, child, it was a lot of heavy breathing because you already know back then he was bigger than what he is now. So it was like, you could tell that they tried to kind of product the breathing out of the music and stuff. It was just creepy. And the bad part about it is that was a gift, a marital gift from a church member when I used to go to this mega church called Bethany. And one of the 12, as they call it, gave me a women's Bible, gave him a men's Bible, and a CD, all of which was created by T.D. Jakes to help spouses make it through their marriage and fight issues and things like that. Pretty much usher each other um, through marriage constructively. I'll put it like that. But when I tell you some things cannot be helped because I want to say me and my late husband got married in 2006 And not that I'm proud of it, so I don't want to hear nothing. Don't inbox me or email me about anything. But I want to say by 2008, we decided to separate because I was tired of lying to myself. I was tired of lying to him, and I felt like I needed to let him go so he could find somebody that could pretty much cater to him, or whatever the case may be, the way that he needed it to be catered to. Because at that point in time, by 2008, I was a full blown lesbian. I had found me a little sneaky leak, and we was doing our little thing, and that's all it was. After that, I never went back and never will. Um, but back to the task at the topic at hand. Did he know that he did wrong? Now, was he high during the time that he was doing all these things? Probably so. Probably so. I feel like the whole video with him beating Cassie in the hallway by the elevators. You could tell he was hyped up on cocaine or something. Because the way he ran down that hallway was the way Tina ran out that hotel on What Love's Got to Do with It. He was full speed trying to get this girl or keep this girl from leaving. And then when he got to her, pretty much dog walked her all up and down the hallway. But everybody's like, oh, what did she do? It don't fucking matter. I don't care if she stole $500 out his wallet to try to get home because she getting tired of her body being used, her body being abused, or maybe she just was tired of him. Period. It don't ever matter when a man or woman beat on their spouse or mate, because keep your hands to yourself. Keep your hands to yourself. And as a survivor of domestic violence, he better be glad that he was even alive to get arrested. Because had it been me, and he just beat me by the elevator, when we get back to this room, somebody not making it out this room. And that's on everything. One thing I realized about older men, they always seek these younger women because they be like, oh, well, and it would never make sense to me. So, no. But they always, the older men always say about the younger women, oh, they're impressionable. So, we could do more with them, go out the country and do this, that, and the other. And I just feel as though they'll make a nice mother to my children. Whatever cockamamie bullshit that they pretty much give themselves and others on why they date younger women. I remember a long time ago, I was watching Ricky Lake, and she had a segment on her show called Spring Winter Relationships or something like that. And it was a whole bunch of older men. Like, they had to be well into their 40s or 50s, and they was dating 21-year-olds, 25-year-olds. Now, I'm not going to talk about back in the day, like prehistoric time where, it was, you know, okay to do those things because, in some cultures here now and today, they still do the whole arranged marriage. Once you make 13, they arrange the girls to be married to the oldest man in the village or some shit. And in some of the states here in the United States, it's still legal to marry somebody once they get 13. But yet, you know, they be trying to sit up there and talk about the alphabet mafia. You know, we love adults. Well, some of us. We ain't gonna talk about that Jeffree Star situation, but that's neither here nor there. Me personally, there's nothing I could do with a child but raise one, and I refuse to date somebody that is the same age as my daughter. I know I had an incident long ago where this young lady lied about her age, and then her mom called me, cursing me out, calling me pretty much a statutory rapist. And I basically told her, I was like, ma'am, how old is your daughter? She's like, she just turned 18. I was like, oh, tell her don't call me no more. I did not know. She's like, you didn't know? I was like, I haven't even met her. The most we've done is talked on the phone, and she said that she wanted to come visit me, and I told her it's too soon because I don't trust nobody. Nobody. And the last thing I heard before she hung up the phone was, bitch, get your ass in here. I'm about to whoop your ass. You about to get somebody in trouble going to jail for your dumb ass. And the phone just went dead. So men and women, be careful. If y'all meet somebody online, the chat line, whatever the case may be careful. Ask for birth certificates, because they could fake IDs, and they pretty much could fake birth certificates. But talk to their mama. Talk to their daddy. If they be like, oh yeah, you know, whatever, woo, woo, woo. Okay, then proceed if you want to. But these men and women, man, look. Young ladies and young men don't even look their age no more. Because I know when I was 14 and 15, I had men that was 35 and 45 talking about, oh yeah, I'll wait till you turn 18. Shit like that further lets me know that Diddy probably said a lot of stuff, promised a lot of stuff, because I know when Cassie came out with her dissertation, she was like, oh yeah, he promised me, you know, he was going to help my career, this, that, and the other. So I trusted him to do what he said he was going to do. I didn't expect all the extra stuff. I don't care how rich a person is or how poor a person is. You don't move until God tell you to move. And that's one thing I've learned over the years. And, you know, I would never victim shame anybody at all. Because I've been there, done that. I've been the president of the club of a lot of things that are shady and unnecessary behavior from the age of 5 to the age of 15. So I'm never victim shaming anybody. But I just want to know, where was Cassie's parents? Because if memory serves me correct, by the time she even linked up with P. Diddy, she was still a minor. So where was Cassie's parents? Where were all the other young lady parents? They might as well take Diddy and put him, if not in the same cell as R. Kelly, or either on the same block as R. Kelly. And I still say to this day that R. Kelly shouldn't have been the only one to go to jail. Anybody that saw them little girls go in his house, in the studio, wherever they was meeting up, the parents that dropped them off, knowing what was happening, because I'm pretty sure the you know, it was told, unless the kids was like, well, shoot, I'm getting money, I don't, you know, my parents ain't giving me no money, and so I ain't gonna say nothing. But the ones that said something, the security, the assistants, the music producers, the parents, the guardians, whatever, they should have been arrested and charged right along with him. That because that in itself is just one of those things where you just be like, wait, where were the parents when this was going on? And then the parents were like, oh well, we didn't know, and he gave it. So you pretty much sold your kid to the Pied Piper, the king of R&B. I want to know. I want to know what happened to Kim Porter. I know a lot of people was like, oh well, she was sick. She had been sick for a long time. But I find it funny, not really ha ha funny, but I find it ironic that she was about to come out with a book, even though her best friend or whoever she is, I don't know this lady, saying that she didn't. But I find it funny that things was about to be revealed about the Diddler, and miraculously she ended up sick. And then the same thing with I get them confused. The same thing about Christopher Williams or Albie Shore. One of them, they said they was about to come out with something or say something about something, and miraculously ended up with pneumonia. So I want to know who in the industry has been going around unaliving people to keep secrets from being told, because that is too. It's too ironic. It's too like the moment things happen, it just trickled down from there. Like different rappers, different singers, different actors and stuff. The moment that they dig deep or was about to reveal some stuff, now all of a sudden they found dead in pools, in beds, in cars. They miraculously end up with pneumonia and all this other stuff. Because word on the street is Easy E didn't die from AIDS. They say he died from a fentanyl overdose. And I want to know how long has fentanyl been around to where all these people are just dropping like flies from taking it or being touched with it, because they said you could literally touch it and die. So who's to say that the people, and I'm not a conspiracy theorist by any means, so don't get me wrong, but I'm a Virgo. I observe certain things. And to me, I just find it funny how all these celebrities, people of color, pretty much, every time they about to reveal something, the industry makes sure they get them out of there. Like, you out of there. And not only the people of color, because just recently, what's his name? Matthew Perry from Friends, I think that's his name. They just found out that he was murdered. So who, why, and what was the cause of them wanting to take this dude up out of here? Was he about to reveal some stuff? I'm convinced. When they was talking about, oh yeah, when you in the industry, whether you're an actor, singer, rapper, you gotta play the game. What game? I'm not playing no spades. I'm not playing no chess. I'm not playing none of that when it comes to my well being. But I am convinced that the whole industry need to be investigated. But I think that it's unfair that, and this is gonna sound stupid as hell, but I'm gonna say it anyway. I find that it's unfair that a lot of the um, actors, singers, and rappers that's sitting in jail right now is in jail, and they are allowing Cheeto number 45 to still run for president. Like, wasn't he supposed to get sentenced this month? Like, what's going on with that? That's another reason why I say the judicial system works for who we want to work for, and everybody else ought to be damned. They still have people that's pretty much gonna die in prison over a marijuana charge, shoplifting charge. But these molesters, these rapists, these um, political politicians, and everything in between that has been doing what they have been doing for years. The first thing they was like, "Oh, the statute of limitations." I don't care about none of that. Lock everybody up. I don't care if they done changed their ways. Well, they done changed their ways. They're a good citizen now, and they saw the error in their ways. I don't care about none of that. Lock all of them up. And I think they should change that statute of limitations too. It shouldn't be no statute of limitation. If you did dirty in your 20, when you was 21, and you did dirty to over 100 women or men, because they are not exempt, they get abused too. But if you do anything to kids or anything to somebody that's incapacitated and wasn't allowed or able to say no or fend for themselves while you're trying to do something to them, you should be prosecuted. Period. Because my whole main thing is if Harvey Weinstein, R. Kelly, the Diddler, and a couple of other people, because I heard a couple of names and I read a couple of names. If these people is out walking around partying, having a good time, smoking a blunt, drinking a thing of Remy or whatever the case may be, but Cheeto 45 is still running for president and saying dumb shit like people are eating cats and dogs and you could abort a baby at 9 months. Why? Why? Who nominated him in the Republican Party? Or is he running independent? Because whoever nominated him to run for the Republicans, y'all are idiots. Full blown idiots. And anybody that vote for Cheeto 45, knowing what he stand for, he gave during the presidential debate, he gave the most niggerish answer when asked something. This dude gonna say, "Oh, I don't have a plan as of yet, but when I'm elected president, then I'll come up with a plan." That's like meeting a dude on the street. He at the bus stop, y'all talking, whatever the case may be. Or a woman, because I don't want to keep picking on the dude. Y'all picking on me? No, okay, whatever. That's like meeting a woman or a man on a bus stop, and y'all kick it and y'all vibing, and you find out, you pretty much asking them, what are your plans for the future? Do you have a contingent plan on, how you gonna progress from the bus stop to, whatever, and they hit you with, "Oh yeah, I don't have no plan right now, but I'm working on something. I'll let you know." What? Child. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. And the only thing I can say when I see the posts keep getting rotated around social media and they have his little trumpers under there, justifying his answer or whatever. I'm like, so this is your king? This is who y'all voting for? And then Vance, whatever his name, JD Vance, he sit up there pretty much admitted to lying about dogs and cats being ate. So not only are they pretty much they are like a whole bunch of people in Hollywood. Perception is everything. Cause ain't no way in the world you attempt to assassinate the president twice. Twice. And you miss, ain't no way. Cause if you really wanted to pop that fool, you would have popped that fool. Ain't no way you miss. And at this point, I'm believing what the headlines are saying. I feel as though he's staging this for sympathy. But ain't nobody gonna have no sympathy. You sit up there talking about lonely cat ladies. You sit up there talking about getting rid of retirement. The whole Project 25 that he say or said that he had nothing to do with. He was caught in 4K talking to the person that dressed you up. But you had nothing to do with it. When you slipped up during one of your rallies and said something that was in the Project 25. That's why they used to say, my big mom used to always say, if you let somebody talk long enough, they will tell you everything that you need to know. And the more he be on TV, the more he be on, Twitter or whatever the case may be, the more he is revealing his hand and don't even know it because he's so busy talking that he's not paying attention to what's coming out his mouth. Talking about he hates Taylor Swift for endorsing Kamala. Of course she's going to endorse Kamala because Kamala, even though a lot of people do not like her, for whatever reason, I do not care. Kamala has been very direct, very intentional with her policies. I'm not voting for a toddler that's basically like, what you want for lunch today? Do you want a cheese sandwich or do you want a peanut butter sandwich? And they just walk up to you and like, you know what? I don't know. I don't know what sandwich I want. I just want to make my own decision when I make it. Like, no. This is the United States of fucking America. We are dealing with high groceries, high gas, high rent, homeless epidemics, hunger epidemics, and pretty much immigrants running around not knowing where the hell they at and what the fuck to do. And companies hiring them because it's the cheaper choice. Because there's nowhere in the world they just got here. They doing Uber, Grubhub, Lyft, and they said, "Oh, I'm so sorry, I don't know how to work this app." So you don't have nobody. They just gave you the job and like, "Hey, go out there and be free." But yet, some whites, some blacks, some Asians, some Latinos can't even get a simple job. But y'all just handed jobs to these motherfuckers as soon as they come over here. Vouchers for housing, vouchers for food, all type of stuff. They riding around in new cars and stuff. Like, yeah. But yet the people that's been here can't even get approved for food stamps. That's crazy. That is crazy to me. And then the first thing they want to do to the homeless people, as soon as they find a spot that is safe, that's out of the elements, and things like that, they want to go and ransack their tent or their cardboard box or whatever they have to make themselves feel a little bit better. Then they pass a law, oh, we're going to arrest you if we see you feeding the homeless. So you pretty much just want them to be on the street and die? I wish I had the, what is called it? I wish I had the means to run for president, governor, or something. But I don't. So I'm just going to talk my shit. But if I was president, if I was lucky enough to become president, governor, senator, or whatever, the first thing I'm fixing is the homeless epidemic and the hunger problem. I know rent is high, I know gas is high, and I know food is high, but the fact that there are millions of homeless people in the United States that's not being talked about is a concern for me, and most of them are veterans. Imagine fighting for this country and you come back and they won't even fight for you. It is so much to be said with these politicians, with the government. And just like I said on my last podcast, I feel as though we just need to terminate everybody. All the law enforcement, all the government officials, all the politicians. We need to be single for a minute. We need to figure some things out because this country has been jacked up. Honestly, just like I said, since Bush, the deficit has been growing since Bush. The only person that tried to do good by this country, honestly, was Bill Clinton at the time and Obama. Like it or not, Obama tried to put a contingent plan together so once he left office, everything would be okay. And all Donald Trump did was come in, took the binder, and just threw it probably in the desk, the drawer of the desk, and didn't even look at it no more. That's why when coronavirus happened, he was on a golf course. He keeps talking about, oh, we haven't seen Kamala, since Joe got elected president. But when you was in office, nobody saw you either unless it was time for a press conference that didn't make sense. You was on a golf course like President Bush was when Katrina happened. So when Corona happened, he on the golf course, then he sitting up there talking about, oh yeah, on the whole January 6th thing, I didn't tell them to do that. You antagonize the whole thing. It's on Twitter. It's in black and white. But you ain't had nothing to do with it, right? Please, Negro. Please. I swear he is like a toddler. We had a toddler running this country, and then we're surprised that the deficit is as high as it is. When he was in office, he ran up so many bills, and yes, I say bills, because that's the way I look at it. He's like, oh yeah, Joe Biden is sending, immigrants to this country, whatever, woo woo. But he was in bed with the Russians. Every politician has their own thing that makes them not re-electable. For me, I feel as though Donald Trump should not be re-elected because all he gonna do is make it to where once he get in office, he will pass some type of law probably to where he's just gonna indefinitely be there. And that is like a lot of people's biggest fear. I don't really care. Because my whole main thing is ain't nobody gonna make me do anything that I don't want to do. If these Caucasian people from the Mount Caucasus think that they're gonna bring slavery back, and we just gonna be like, okay, yes, sir, yeah, what you want me to do? I'm about to go pick this cotton. No, what's gonna end up happening is it's gonna be a revolution. It's gonna be a war within the walls of the United States of America, and the only people that's probably gonna end up on the other side of the war prosperous is a lot of people of color, because it's more of us than it is of them. And then the amount of allies that we have, that pretty much quadruples the the help that we'll have. We are not going backwards. I don't care what nobody say, and I just have a feeling. I found an article where he's trying to, what they call it. I hate it when I have a brain for it because I know what I'm trying to say. But I saw an article where he's trying to pretty much do away with the mail-in ballot. He's like, that's not valid. You need to go to the poll. He feels as though you have to go to the polls for your vote to count. And I feel as though that's bogus because he knows there's a lot of elderly people that can't make it to the polls, but they want to vote. They have a lot of disabled people that want to vote but can't make it to the polls. They have a lot of people that don't really have cars. They too far away from public transportation and a lot of things to where they're not able to vote. And what it is, he know he is losing. He know he is losing. So he count on ballots from machines, but he did that when he was going against Hillary. Hillary technically won that election. Let's just talk about it. Hillary won that election, and he pretty much, because of misogyny, they gave it to him because he is a Caucasian man. They was like, yeah, we're not giving it to. It didn't. My whole main thing is, what's the difference between Hillary and Kamala? What is the difference besides the color? Back then they was like, oh yeah, we're not ready for a female president because of the simple fact that, I don't think, nobody will vote for that. But they voted for that and she won and they still gave it to him. So what I think gonna end up happening is, and it's gonna piss me off, I have a feeling that Kamala is going to win. And they gonna let the what they call it, the college or the electoral or whatever the case may be, they gonna let it go to him because men are threatened by women of power. I know I took a whole left turn, but I'm about to make a whole U-turn and come back to the topic at hand. Diddy, boo boo. Pick out your stripes. Do you want vertical or do you want horizontal? Because you're going to jail, sir. And I am so happy about it. And I'm so happy that Jaguar Wright is getting apologies. Little by little, they apologize to her. Little by little. Like, oh, Jaguar was right. Dang, we sorry, we just thought you, woo. Nah. Real ones know. Real ones that are in tune with themselves, that are empaths, they knew that she was telling the truth. She wasn't just spouting out things all willy-nilly. She had too much info for it to just be unnecessary banter. And Cat Williams, my Virgo brother, yes. One thing about us Virgos, and I don't care about people talk about, oh, Virgos is the hardest people to love. It's the hardest people to be friends with. They always feel like they right because we are, especially when we have facts. Cat Williams came to the table with all the facts. And they turned him into a meme and all this other stuff. But the fact of the matter is, them two individuals, Jaguar and Cat, they said this was gonna be the year of revelation, and it has been. Every revelation has been busting hell wide open, and I'm happy about it. I am so happy, and I pray that people get the justice that they seek and have been seeking for years, because they deserve it. Don't nobody need to go through what they went through and be treated like they're delusional, especially when it comes to SA. That's like one of those things that men and women find it hard to come forward and admit has happened to them. So I pray that this year, at the end of all of this, that they find closure, that they find restitution, that they find some type of relief so they can get the therapy they need and move on, knowing that this dude is behind bars. He needs to be under the jail. He needs that. Everybody needs that to happen. But I still say they need to put Trump away, because if they're arresting all these other people, what's up with that? When are they gonna get around with that? After he get elected? And I pray that he don't. I pray that he don't get elected. But the way men are in this country, they would rather this country burn to the ground before giving the presidential rights to a black woman. But I am going to get off of here. I hope y'all enjoyed my podcast. Just like I said, you can look forward to a new podcast from me every Friday. It really don't matter the time, because we have a whole 24 hours in a day. So it will be uploaded every Friday, first on Spotify, and then my team will pretty much edit it and put it on YouTube, on my YouTube channel. So if you want to go listen to, Lord, I'm all tongue tied. I shouldn't have smoked before I started. But if you want to listen to my podcast on YouTube or Spotify, it is under the same name, which is Raven Random Rant, and you'll know it's my podcast because it will have pretty much a neon picture of an African American woman with headphones on, look like she's talking into a mic. The colors are pink, blue, and I think green. So that's how you'll know that it's me. Also, I want to say this. Don't be afraid to speak your mind when it comes to certain things. I know a lot of people in this world, they have a fear of, saying too much or not, saying the wrong things or whatever. We at an age now, some of us are at an age now to where speaking our truth is vital to the very being that we are. And children of the 80s know what I'm talking about. If you was born in the 80s and raised by the 90s, and you was always told, to be seen and not heard, y'all know what I'm talking about. Now's the time to write that journal, to write that memoir, to write whatever it is that's going to help you heal from any type of trauma that you endured during the 90s. Because I know it's quite a bit of us that went through some stuff. So write it. Even if you don't publish it, write it. Because it's very important mentally to get rid of that stuff before you get any older. So with that being said, I'm going to leave y'all with my thought. And my thought of the night is, in the words of Kendrick Lamar, sometimes you got to pop out and show niggas. And what I mean by that is, if you have had people to tell you that you would never amount to anything, that you would never be loved, that you are hard to deal with, that you know, would never excel in anything in life, or whatever the case may be. It is your best move to show them better than you could tell them. Don't show all your hands all at once, but little by little, every achievement that you achieve, pop out and show them. And let them know that, yeah, you thought I didn't have nothing moving. You thought I ain't had no motion. But surprise, motherfucker, yes, I do. So with that being said, love, peace, and blessings to everybody. I pray for y'all like I pray for myself. So until next time, later.